What's up, guys? What's going on? This is week 1 of the NFL season. It's finally here. All this long time of waiting. We haven't had football since February. Week 1, NFL season. Panthers, Broncos. Let's go. The start to the new season is upon us. We have week 1 of the NFL kicking off tonight with a rematch of the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 50. Panthers at Broncos. The Panthers will come in basically with the same team they played with in Super Bowl 50, minus Josh Norman, Charles Tillman, but the return of Kelvin Benjamin. Let's see what the Broncos can do to get that victory over the Carolina Panthers and start off 1-0. First, let's win the turnover battle. Most teams have to win a turnover battle to win the game. You make the other team turn over the ball more times, it means it gives you more possessions in your hand. Usually that's a number 1 priority for most teams. Limit offensive turnovers, but create defensive turnovers. The Broncos, I feel, have the edge in this category. The no-fly zone and the defensive line of the Denver Broncos is scary good. I haven't really kept up too much with the Carolina Panthers this offseason, but I think they still sort of have the same offensive line that was manhandled by Von Miller and company. If that's the case, then expect the same results from the Broncos defensive line as you saw in Super Bowl 50, which was Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware basically imposing their will, doing whatever they wanted to against that offensive line of the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton looked lost in the backfield. He tried to scramble around. He had no room to run. He had Von Miller coming from one side, DeMarcus Ware from the other side, Derek Wolfe. They were blitzing safeties. You also have to remember that the Broncos and the Carolina Panthers played on a neutral field, which this game will not be played on. This game will be played at home at Sports Authority Field in Denver. Let's go with time of possession, which goes hand in hand with the turnover battle. Create more turnovers, keep the ball out of the hands of the Carolina Panthers offense. That's what you have to do. You have to win a time of possession, run the ball to chew up the clock. If Sanchez was starting, I would say we'd have a hard time running the ball because I don't think teams would respect Sanchez as a legit starter. They might not respect Trevor as a legit starter either, but Trevor can hit a deep pass. He's got the arm to throw multiple deep balls, hitting Demaryius Thomas, hitting Emmanuel Sanders. That's another thing about this game also. Demaryius Thomas has to have hands of glue tonight. He cannot drop easy screen passes. He cannot drop balls where he's wide open. We can't rely on just Emmanuel Sanders and the tight end to do everything. We need Demaryius Thomas to show up and become the Demaryius Thomas we have seen in the past. Now let's go ahead and break down the positional battles. QB battle, which is Cam Newton versus Trevor. I have to give the advantage to Carolina on that one due to Trevor's limited experience in the league and with the success Cam has had over his career. We haven't seen much from Trevor, don't know much of Trevor. I mean, we know what Cam Newton can do. We've seen what Cam Newton can do. So Carolina has the advantage when it comes to quarterback battle. The running back battles, it was Stewart and Anderson. See, I don't know which. I gave it a tie because we don't know which Anderson our Stewart will get. We can get the early in the season Anderson where he struggles and then a light comes on and then he's the best damn back in the entire league around November and beyond. And the same with Jonathan Stewart. I've seen Jonathan Stewart struggle early in the season and then that midway point, boom, he's just breaking it off 100-yard games, constantly 2-3 touchdown games. It's just we don't know what Stewart or Anderson we're going to get tonight. It was a tie on that one. Next is the offensive line of Denver and the offensive line of Carolina. Sort of 50-50 on that one too. Watching some of the preseason games and going off last season play, I put the two O-lines at a tie. We all know the O-line play of the Broncos was a little suspect that entire season. I didn't really pay attention to Carolina, but I did watch the Super Bowl, and I watched how Denver's D-line just basically pushed around the Carolina Panthers offensive line. And with the pickup of Russell Okung should help that offensive line be a little bit better than it was last year. But I still give it a tie. The tight end battles at Virgil Green versus Greg Olsen, and gave it to Carolina. Because I really didn't see much of Green. I saw more of Owen Daniels last year than I did of Virgil Green. But compared to the play of Greg Olsen, I had to put Carolina ahead of Denver. I mean, last year Green had 12 catches for 173 yards, but Greg Olsen had 77 catches for 1,104 yards. Wide receiver battle, I gave the advantage to Denver on that one. I mean, let's say we got to take a look at the wide receivers. I mean, you got Kelvin Benjamin, Devin Funchess, Ted Ginn Jr., and I mean, Kelvin Benjamin missed all of last season with an ACL injury, but he makes his return tonight. I mean, Kelvin Benjamin is a good wide receiver, but this is his first full game back after having that knee surgically repaired. He's going up against a defense that's very aggressive, and that will probably test Benjamin to see if that knee is even fully healed. Now, Denver's wide receivers, we have Demaryius Thomas, Benny Fowler, Emmanuel Sanders, and Cody Latimer. Demaryius has been the same talks as guys like Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Dez Bryant, AJ Green, and Calvin Johnson before he retired. And Emmanuel Sanders, Emmanuel Sanders just balls out. That man, in my eyes, I put Emmanuel Sanders, he's creeping up on Demaryius as number one for the team. It might be a little, some people might think that's a little crazy. I like Emmanuel Sanders a little bit more. Just a little bit, not much. Just a little bit more than Demaryius right now. And go to Denver defense. The edge goes to Denver. It has to. No fly zone. Derek Wolfe up front. Von Miller. DeMarcus Ware. The middle linebackers. Yeah, there's no Luke Kuechly. There's no Thomas Davis. I know Luke Kuechly is one of the best middle linebackers here in the game right now. Nothing compares to that Denver Broncos defense. So I had to give the edge to Denver. So with all that said, I got Denver winning this one, 21-17. This is the first time I've ever seen a team win a Super Bowl, come back to regular season, and just get totally disrespected. If it was Green Bay or New England or Pittsburgh, they'd be rolling out the red carpet saying they're going to repeat. But Denver, they only have them in the playoffs. The next week, I will try and get a video loaded up for my prediction for the next game. But I'll be in Colorado on business. So it might be a little difficult for me to get a video predicting the outcome of the game. So with that being said, get ready to watch the game. Get your beer, get your wings, get your chips, get your pizza, and let's go. Bronco Nation, baby.